Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's coverage of the 5th season of the NASCAR Class C Maconi Fixed Series. This evening we're excited to bring you top split action for the weekly strength of field race for the virtual Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you action from all types of racing, including the top split for this series, RTP, and Fast Fridays. No matter what you are racing, we can bring the action to life. My name is Justin Prince. Alongside the booth for tonight's action is our Canards racer Brayton Lester. DJ Lyon is working the controls as our producer. Brayton, tonight we go to a fan favorite and a driver's favorite, California. Multiple different grooves, multiple different types of racing, and in turn, expecting high speeds as these drivers go 3, 4, maybe 5 wide through the corners.
Yeah, 5 wide definitely doable here, but you mentioned those high speeds. Single car speeds of over 185 miles an hour at this 14-degree bank 2-mile oval here in Fontana, like you mentioned. And I think when we get in the big draft that we've seen all season long, we might be pushing upwards of 200 miles an hour.
Should be a fun time, especially with the history here at Fontana, built and opened back in 1997, of course, in real life. Currently in the process being transformed into a short track. But it is a racetrack that we're expecting plenty of busy racing at, especially with this being the third to last week of the schedule as well, with Atlanta and Charlotte due to end off the schedule. It's going to be an interesting end to the season, to say the very least, though, to see what happens here.
Yeah, Atlanta, very drafty track, so anything can go very wrong very quickly there for a driver, and it points out on Charlotte that's very much a driver's track. So a lot of high-speed tracks here at the end of the season, and look at the schedule. That's been a while now. The schedule has been these 1.5 to 2 mile long intermediate style tracks. Already favors a better driver in that essence. And dirty air also seems to be a huge part of the season that we saw last week.
Team Brummett does come into today in a close championship battle. Remember, drop weeks to think about pretty soon. Dakota Lawn right now just 15 points back in our current estimates. Tower Hellcell, along with Justin Patello and Wesley Parker amongst those in the championship conversation, Gavin Gleitzman and Adam Gillette as well, are in the same boat. Some of the others that are looking towards the rear of that standings, Keaton Jones, Everett Smith, Jeff Maconi amongst your top 10 in point standings for the overall championship.
And then look at our guys there from 4th to 10th. About 160 points separates all those guys. And then you go further down the list if you don't have an available graphic. But there are probably 20, 25 guys within 200 or 300 points. And that's really one good race is what that comes down to.
Could be an interesting championship battle the rest of the way here, but overall tonight, this is a racetrack where some of the best like to come out because of how fun it can be to race here. What do you have in mind when it comes to Auto Club, especially with some of the fast facts for these fast drivers?
Yeah, we mentioned that the speeds are going to be pushing 200 miles an hour. Very much a draft-reliant track down the straightaway. You want to play with the dirty air a little bit, but this track holds a special place in one person's heart, many people's heart, but many Gilda Ferrand set the closed course record here at Auto Club back in 2000 with the kart series at 241.4 miles an hour. That is mad fast.
Should be a mad fast night when it comes to racing here. Qualifying has come to a close for today. So it's time to see how we'll start tonight from iRacing's Virtual Auto Club Speedway, also known as Next Gen California. Jordan Worf setting the pole time. How about that tonight? Dakota Lawn alongside him. And Andrew Sharp, who's preparing for Lake Race as part of this preparation for that. Starting third, big for him alongside Jordan Hurley. Then you have J-Bo starting alongside Wyatt Gray in the top 6. Your next page starts with Drake Carney. We'll start alongside Charles Wimbley, one of those coming from the college series, from going for college. Dean Brummett starts off 9th, and Cole Puckett rounds out your top 10 this evening.
Indication no strength in Maconi Entertainment. We've seen him quite a bit have a lot of success over on the TKC side of things for his outside. I mean, none other than Newman himself, Brad Newman, Gavin Fitzgerald in line behind them, not yet to the starting grid. He's got about a minute or so. Nick Olson, though, we've seen him compete quite a bit with that Team Conti team quite a bit. I just double said that, but he's going to run off 14th. And Clayton Shalofsky in 15th, Kenny Brady in 16th, highest rated driver coming in tonight. Zeke Willis there in 17th. Jeffrey Maconi had a bit of a bobble in qualifying, starting deep in the field. 18th, Brandon Slow in 19th, David Giusti in 20th, Tommy Ramanucci in 21st, and Jackson Van Valkenburg going to be their last driver in the field, rolling off 22nd. So a couple drivers electing to not take a time, bit of a bold strategy considering how quick this race is.
Let's take a look at the Maconi setup shop race analysis on that point then as we get ready to look at the drivers lining themselves up on the starting grid. Remember, tire sets available in the pits for tonight's race. It is a 30-lapper as well for these competitors. So if there's a caution after, say, 10 laps, expect people to come down for tires. We may see some roll of the dice from what we've heard. But it is also a cool racetrack tonight for these drivers to be able to battle around Auto Club. Currently 68 degrees Fahrenheit, track temperature is 69 for today. So expecting a lot of grip out there for these drivers here at California.
That's definitely a nice temperature if you want to go fast. Not very slick. It's not going to heat up. You're not going to have to deal with those super loose trucks throughout the run. It might build loose, might build tight, but some of these trucks have to deal with. And Dakota Long coming in tonight, I think he's ran probably the most races coming into this race this week. I mentioned the schedule change on a weekly basis, and he's second in points. And he's closed up that gap quite a bit. I remember earlier in the season, he was able to get that first win and close up that gap from 200 to 180 to 150. Now less than 20 points out of a championship.
Overall, what are some of your keys to have a good race here in this one tonight?
Just like last week at Kentucky, I think dirty air is going to be a big part of it. Although this track, we mentioned, 4 or 5 racing groups to pick and choose from, so you won't be able to defend as well. But if anyone can do it, it's going to be Dakota Long from the outside front row or Jordan Ward.
Overall, 21 drivers made the starting grid. 22nd, Jackson Van Valkenburg missed the starting grid for tonight. We're just about ready to go racing here from Fontana. Happy with us on our racing social media platforms. Cody Entertainment. Jordan Worth in control. Green flag is out. We're underway from California. And we're 4 wide already. Cole Parkin shooting to the outside. Dean Brummett to the inside. As others like J-Bo go for third, and others get turned in the field. Trouble for Drake Carty. He's turned up across the pack. Caution flag is out as Cole Parkin spins it down the back straightaway as well.
So I'm going 4 wide on Cole tires. Knew it wasn't going to work out. Mentioned Drake Carty in the 19 truck getting the worst of it. Motor blown night over. And see exactly what happened here. I think I'm looking at that 8 truck in front of him. That's Wyatt Gray. That just gets loose on cold tires.
I apologize to the radio. Clips him at the very end. That absolutely destroyed the 19 already, out possibly for the race.
That motor was blowing up on that thing, had to tow. And I'm not going to repeat what they're saying over on the chat as you're right on board, but basically get the coffin ready for Carty there.
Big time damage for the 19. So very quickly, already have our first tow, and we're under caution. Very early going here. Not what you expect here of note. Jeff Maconi just received word, had a power failure right as this race started, so we're down to about 21 now on the racetrack. This is a lucky timing, by the way, for the 20 truck. Van Valkenburg gets the chance to take the wave around since they had missed the initial start.
Okay, also this caution going to be opportunity for Jeff Maconi to be able to get back in, only lose a handful of laps racing against the clock. He was able to get that power back up and running.
Interesting time for some of these drivers right now as Van Valkenburg doesn't look like they're going to give him the trigger, as one may think. May have to wait for the next one. Might have came out too late to do so. But last night, some interesting racing, by the way, when it came to the college fall finale. Matthew Zwack picked up the win in some intense racing in the trucks after what was some exciting action battling drivers like Clampett and Wilson. Stephen Wilson finished on second. Jonathan Evans back in the 3rd position in that race with Daniel Falkingham and Zach Sprouse amongst your top 5. So interesting times in NASCAR, getting set to see who makes it all the way to the Coke Series pretty soon. Contender getting into its final portions to see who's in the cutoff to be able to be a part of the free agency as well.
A bit of a change in the platform news to be the top 20. We talked about the Road to Pro, the first ladder that we broadcasted that over here on Maconi Entertainment. Saw those drivers fight tooth and nail to get into the top 20 and going in there to the contender, try and make it in the top 30 now with the handful of guys from Coke. It's definitely a fierce level of competition that goes, a lot of training, a lot of preparation goes into that. And, you know, you look here at C-Fix and I think some of these guys show up week in and week out and have a good time. But let me tell you, some of these guys like Brummett, like Dakota Long, put in a ton of practice and just try and make most of these high S.O.F races like tonight.
So currently getting set for the 1-to-go signal. This is a quick yellow racetrack, by the way. Jordan Wharf up in front, followed by Dakota Long, J-Bo, Jordan Hurley, Sharp, Brummett, Newman, Olsen, Cassing, as we heard corrected from Nick Olsen before, and Gavin Fitzgerald amongst the top 10 for this restart. And we already have seen people get very bold. Nick Olsen gained 6 spots in 2 turns after all on the initial start.
Yeah, you gotta be bold here on these restarts. Another driver, Dustin Botello there, goes from 5th to 3rd. I think he might have even been able to steal 2nd if it stayed green. So a couple guys in this top 10 to watch out for.
Your drivers currently either off circuit or out. Jeff Maconi, Drake Carty, Jackson Van Valkenburg stuck a 1 lap down scenario, but the next caution they would get the wave in theory. And it's going to be interesting how drivers play things out on these restarts here. We already have seen people not afraid to take it 4 wide. We'll see what happens this time out, with it being into the restart zone.
Big opportunity for a lot of guys to make up a ton of spots and not have to worry about that dirty air.
Seeing Barney as there goes the yellow, there goes the green. Jordan Wharf, bloody in control, alongside Dakota Long. Oh, and the outside line tried to jump it. Green flag is out. They stacked the box. No black flags. Dakota Long slowed down in time. Did not pass Jordan Wharf. J-Bo is up to 2nd.
That's got a huge stack up on the inside, primarily for, I believe, one driver there in the right yellowed car on the bottom. Not sure who it is. Andrew Sharp lost a ton of spots from that one. He's going to fall back about 7-8 spots here.
Some 3 wide building up in the middle of the field, but up front, you see different lines faring out. Bottom being played by Wharf, J-Bo using the middle line. Some of the others trying to use the wall in the middle of that 3, make it 4 wide Hornet's Nest. Also amongst those, you see shuffling 3rd in line at the bottom behind Brad Newman, who's gone to 3rd. Side by side for the race lead. J-Bo going for the slide. He slips into the race lead. Jordan Wharf preferred top shelf.
Wharf's gonna get a run down the back straight here, gets the draft, gets the air off of Botello's back bumper. You're gonna have the run going into turn 3, see if you're able to do anything with it.
Now it's Wharf, his turn to go to the white seam. All the way down towards the edge of the apron. But that outside line is going to be very difficult to stop tonight. A lot of momentum you can carry off corner exit down the front straight away. This time, they keep it near dead even. The draft also going to be big for those battling behind, like Newman and Hurley in that 2nd row.
J-Bo leads the lap last time by. They mentioned dead nuts even. 0.02 of a second separating the 2. Jordan Wharf going to get the momentum though off the corner, off the bottom. And here comes a run from J-Bo looking inside. Trying not to side draft him quite yet, but he will get the momentum going into turn 3.
J-Bo takes the lead once again. Jordan Wharf trying to go for the diamond. Here's Zeke Willis, one of the drivers who runs with Nexus Esports, cutting his way through the pack. So far from 17th up inside the top 10 so far for the 3 truck.
Working outside your current points leader, Dean Brummett. running outside the top 5 currently. Dakota Long, that 7 truck in front of him, actually the number 2 truck in front of him. He was able to get that spot and build on that lead a little bit.
Still side by side for the race lead. Continuing to trade the spots. Bottom in 3 seems to be the way to make the move. J-Bo able to keep it high side so far though. And these two continue to cross each other over in 1 and 2 with the runs. What lane they take by 3 and 4 the next time. Fighting very aggressively to start.
Of note, Jeffrey Maconi able to get back out on track, albeit 6 laps down, so he's going to need a lot of help to get back on the lead lap.
Down to the bottom, Worf holds on to the race lead now for the time being, side by side. Newman trying to pinch down Hurley, who switched up lines. Still the build up by Newman to be able to build his way to 3rd. Side by side again for the race lead. J-Bo, the popular streamer, not backing down, not making it easy to hold on to the race lead here in all this.
Known for streaming, but known for being actually very fast. He's not a driver that goes out there and runs in the back. If he's here running the race, he's here to win the race. With him quite a bit for the broadcast conference with C Fixed, and see him taking to the house with 4,700 plus S.O.F field right now.
So Worf now, this time, not able to get a run side by side for the first time. The lead settles down. We'll see how that fares out for the tires. Hurley seems ready to send it back for 3rd again. Newman just continues to try and pinch on down here in the midst of this battle. Others, they're just trying to wrap the bottom and get things done here. This is Dakota Long, side by side in front of him. No place to go except riding along in the draft train.
Yeah, that draft train goes all the way back throughout the entire field. I mean, beyond the top 10 and then some, basically bringing their friends with you. 18 cars still in on the lead lap, 18 cars still in this lead draft train.
Well, that time it looked like just about Dakota Long stuffing into the fence, trying to make the move on the high side. Behind driver, able to make the move as 3 wide forms offset for him. You know who's on the charge? Tommy Romanucci. Romanucci has moved his way up through the field, and he's inside the top 10 too.
Number 18 truck going from 2nd to last, inside the top 10, 3 wide, stuck in the middle. You got Dean Brummett outside in the 7, and Jordan Hurley down there, down low in that blue and pink 14. Romanucci falling back a little bit, not quite able to get the stable exit that he wants to. Gonna get right back in line behind Dean Brummett.
So how do you set up passes in a situation like this where it almost seems like it's very difficult to get the rhythm down? It so far seems like, unless you're not afraid to burn up that equipment to be able to charge your way through this train that's now starting to form up single file.
I see J-Bo leading this pack here with Jordan Worth in the 6th behind him, and you mentioned how to make a pass. The biggest thing is timing, be able to carry momentum right through the corner, maybe slide up, pull a slide job, and get in front of the guy and try and block their run. The biggest thing, though, is playing defense as well, because the second you step out of line to try and make a move, the guy behind you is going to try and make that same move that you're making on the guy in front of him, and maybe pick off 2 birds with 1 stone side by side for the lead, though. Mentioned trying to throw a slider. Jordan Worth thinks about it, lets it stick to that white line and not quite able to get the deal sealed.
Still sets up a good spot, 4th, 1 and 2. Nearly into the wall that time. The backdrop was long. He's able to battle it out now side by side, make it up to 3rd with that move to get past Newman. And this is around the time where you expect people to try and wrap the wall. An art form here at California. It makes it where that backstretch run is big. Speaking of big,
Zeke Willis, they're going around in the 3 truck. No one else involved that we can see yet.
Caution flag is out. So the Nexus driver gets involved, and that's where those runs come into play. Gavin Fitzgerald was the one on the top shelf. Willis tried to clear, unfortunately was not clear.
Yeah. See Gavin there in that 16, goes up and not quite clear Zeke. Gets right hook. Fitzgerald able to maybe keep it out of the wall. He Got a little bit of damage. Tapped the wall a little bit, that inside retaining wall.
Did get a meatball flag from it, though. Both of them did. That's how hard the contact was, breaking the suspension of both cars. Both trucks, should say. So coming up to pit stops here, and this is where we're expecting some roll of the dice here on strategy. Curious who takes 2 tires here. It is going to be a bit more harder to do now that you're 15 laps just about through the run here in California, Brayton. But it is something people may try and do for track position with how it's going.
Yeah, we're going to be going green with, about 12, 13 laps left in the race. So hoping for another caution maybe or two and hold off those guys on 4 tires. If it goes green, you're basically a sit and duck. But looks like the majority of the field coming down here. See who takes 2 tires, though.
See if anybody takes the risk. Already a few drivers fanning out to make sure they're in their pit stalls here. Lucky dunk, by the way, Jackson Van Valkenburg, this caution flag. So now it's a 19 on the lead lap. So Worth leads them on down into the pit lane. 6 trucks so far. It's gone back and forth for this race lead and what's been some intense fighting with number 5 of J-Bo.
I haven't seen many 2-tire stops yet.
Nope.
Mainly all 4 tires, yeah.
All 4, and believe it might have been J-Bo who got the burst to be able to zip by Worth at the box.
Yeah, he at least beat him off the pit road line as far as where the cones are drawn.
Reset the field, J-Bo, the first off pit road. That was followed by Jordan Worth. Dakota Long third off the race off the lane. Newman, Brummett, the top 5. Brady, Hurley, Olsen, Romanucci, Cassie amongst your top 10 runners. Cole Pocken just behind them. Take a very quick step aside. We come back. The restart. Just past halfway. Happy with us here tonight. Here from California.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to California. Tonight's action brought to you in part by iRacing. It's a trained tool by countless professional drivers. iRacing's unrivaled as a racing simulator because its creators manage to capture every car in track detail. Recreate them in a package that perfectly encapsulates the feeling behind the wheel of a race car, pushing its mechanical limits on courses designed to test the driver's skill sets, and the industry agrees. Visit iRacing.com and sign to become a member today. Remember, it's now 50% off, currently on sale for new members, 25% for renewals until December 2nd. Just about ready for the restart. J-Bo in control this time. Green flag is out. Jordan Worth trying to jump it. In the inside, gets the better pole as a result. Side by side for second as Dakota Long zips his way to P2. That outside takes a moment to build momentum. Long getting loose though.
Watching a battle for the championship unfold in our very own race here for the broadcast time slot. Dean Brummett there in the 7. 14 points separates him and the number 2 truck at Dakota Long. Both drivers going for a win. Both drivers going for a championship.
All Offset 3 wide of the backdrop as drivers like Newman try and play the lines of the block on Brady. Now Jabo trying to build a buffer. Ward clears for second. Oh, a huge block by Law, nearly into the wall. Now getting flipped over. Caution flag is out as Dakota Lawn does a barrel roll in the field.
Damage to Dean Brum, a couple other trucks as well, but Dakota Long tried to play the blocking game and came back to bite him there.
Dean Brummett apparently getting a black flag in that situation. Believe he went below the pit exit cone. So that's going to mean he'll have to go to the back of the field. But this big block ends up getting not paid off very quickly.
That's a wild ride there on the number 2 truck on the side. Barrel rolls a little bit. That was contact with the number 4. It goes high to block, goes low to block, bobbles a little bit, and that bobble slowed him up enough to allow the 4. Brad Newman to get in that left rear and him flying down the track. Jordan Hurley and Kenny Brady and also involved. With Brady getting help from Hurley that sent Brady into Dakota Long. And mentioned Dean Brumman getting that penalty, trying to avoid the wreck. Didn't get too much damage, it looks like, but on board here with Brady. You're gonna be okay. Then get that second hit from Hurley from behind, and that's what sent Dakota Long flipping. Ooh, one driver, great wreck avoidance there. I believe that was Giusti.
A lot of damage picked up. Remember Brummett, black flag to serve. But no one got mandatory damage. That's the bright side there. Let's take the chance to talk about Movember, because that's something that Maconi Sun Shop's putting a lot of focus on. In fact, they're holding a Saturday for the Boys Movember event at the end of the month on November the 30th. All proceeds go directly to Movember. That's, again, 8 p.m. start. Enter today. Be able to support Movember, making a difference on men's health. Here's how that event works. You can talk a little bit more of that on Braden as we have a busy night ahead for that one before the racing gets underway that day.
Yeah, I believe we're starting 33 or so drivers, $10 entry fee, which is a donation directed to Movember. You mentioned a handful of money going directly to Movember there, but practice there at 6 o'clock, qualifying at 7:15, 25 from qualifying, and you have 5 drivers taking from that last minute qualifier, and then 3 provisionals for your race there at 8 o'clock. Mentioned that's going to be November 30th. So I'm going to ask you, JP, do you remember the 30th night of Movember? Dancing the night away. I will be sticking to my day job.
Okay. I was about to say. But the field still has about another pace lap and a half to go here. Jabo got a huge launch that last restart. How do you play this now if you're Worf to not lose so much ground, to be able to have something like we've seen earlier on in the race where it went back and forth for the lead?
They mentioned the sliders early in this race. You know, they're going to have very limited time, less than 10 laps early, and you're hoping a caution doesn't end the race either, or at least hinder your charge. It's going to take a lap or two to really build up a run, going down the back straightaway and then run the slide job. And we don't really get in green white checker territory either. These two know how to trade and battle for the lead hard. Their tires just now getting warmed up, so I think we're going to be seeing some prime racing here. And the battle of the screamers in the front row. Jordan Worth there at bottom of it, Justin Botello with Jabo there. Both these drivers have a huge following on the social media side of things. They're both trying to duke it out here on the Maconi C6 series.
We'll see as we're at 1 degree this time around. Getting sent to regroup and restart. Who stood out the most to you on those charging through this field to be able to try and join this conversation?
I really like Brad Newman there in third. Just mentioned that incident he got in with Dakota Long, but the biggest mover up 16 spots is that 18 truck there in fifth. You can't really see the number, but it's that green and black truck on the bottom. Tommy Romanucci from the last row to fifth.
Keep an eye on that. See what happens. Should be an interesting time for this upcoming restart once again. Again, it's Jabo, it's Worf. It's Newman and Hurley. It's Romanucci. It's Olsen, Cassie. Punkin, Sharp, and Clayton Kalepski. Zalewski, should say, has moved his way up to 10. So far, it's been a battle right to the end of the restart box. We'll see if that continues for this upcoming restart. iRacing pace car is off this time. 8 laps to decide it from California. Green flag is out. Early launch this time. Worf slams the door for second. And already some drivers at the back wanting to go 3 wide.
Yeah, Jordan Worth was not going to let Brad Newman get a shot there. Newman looking inside of Worth now in that bright number 4 truck. Not quite able to get there. Worth shutting the door again, trying to get the draft off of Jabo as they go down the backstretch.
Building up the momentum as some of the drivers go side by side. 4 wide, heart of the field. That's not going to last too long here. Van Valkenburg amongst those in the heart of it. And everybody survived at least, but it does break down to 2 and wide. Big bobble and shutdown off the gas that time from Dean Brummett.
And Valkenburg working straight up through the field, started outside of Tommy Romanucci back there in 22nd, and just now getting a race for the first time tonight after missing the starting grid and being a lap down the entire race. Already up to 10th.
Making some interesting moves as the battle for the race lead is on. Jabo high side, Worf low side. They go back single file as they battle it out aggressively for 4th spot as well. Worf looks for the reset.
Hurley there in 4th in that bright numbered orange and blue 14 truck. He's got the brighter number 4 of Brad Newman in front of him to run out the last podium spot, but they got Tommy Romanucci and company trying to work that high side to make some magic happen behind them.
We're going to get that sizzle on in the heart of the field, so to speak. Right now, a lot of people running the bottom of the racetrack. That includes the 20 truck. Slide up Van Valkenburg near contact into Cassie. Romanucci zips on by as others continue to bobble.
Cassie now getting help from Brady. They're going to be right in line behind Romanucci. Romanucci actually pushing Jordan Hurley through the corner right in front of Van Valkenburg here. About turned Hurley off the nose of Romanucci, but both drivers trying to get in that podium spot. Romanucci's tired of working together. Thinks about going low to see these drivers side by side and finally get a single file line down the tri-oval.
Romanucci now zips his way to 4th spot. The battle for the race lead continues up front. To the bottom, Worf.
Lights up right there. Tries to slide up a little bit with Jabo, not quite able to get the job done. And Jabo has been absolutely perfect these last couple laps since the restart. Coming to 4 to go next time by.
Now we'll see how long the battles continue here. We've seen the battles cool off in these later stages of the last run. Once the tires cooked in, Brady zips his way, by the way, to the 3rd spot. Romanucci now sets himself up, trying to get himself back up there with the wall.
Jordan Worth running that bottom, electing to go down there versus the top, find maybe something magical down there, actually getting the dirty air off Jabo, but more importantly, getting the draft on the straightaway. Huge run going to turn 3, about 2 or 3 mile an hour speed difference for Jordan Worth. See if he can make some magic happen here. This entire top 5 are all vying for inches.
Vying to have some great finishes to these runs right now. Romanucci trying to reset, jukes out Newman. That actually costs him momentum more than helps him. 3 laps to go here from Fontana.
Side by side for the lead, the slide job from Worth. See if it's worth it a while. Going to slide up, maybe get in line, get some side drafts going. Not quite able to do much either yet. Now gets in line behind Jabo. Try to close the gap up going into turn 3 here.
Now setting things up at the bottom of the racetrack. Coming to 2 laps to go. Worf needs to gain a lot of time and needs to do so quickly. Brady's gaining some time pretty quickly to try and get up there. Does he help out Worf or does he go for the spot? As you'd see, no close-up from that 6 truck.
Yeah, huge speed run there for Kenny Brady. Trying to pick off 2 birds with 1 stone. Slide job with 2 laps to go. Kenny Brady able to clear Worth. See if Worth's able to take the spot back down the back straightaway. He's going to look inside. No, he's going to push Kenny Brady.
Now he goes to the bottom of the racetrack, coming up to the white flag this time by. Coming up to the final stretch in this race. White flag in hand. Brady stays outside. Jabo now how to block the run. Coming up to the final time around, 2 miles to decide it. Inside goes Brady. Jabo on the outside. Run by Brady. He goes to the bottom. Jabo tries to set up the counter maneuver from the wall.
Jabo trying to build a momentum. Kenny Brady goes up to block, play the dirty air, give the draft to Jabo. Jabo with the run down the back straightaway for the lead, for the win. Jabo looking low on Kenny Brady, side by side, going through 3 and 4 for the final time.
Jabo holds on to the bottom. Brady trying to go for one more big boost. War following on the bottom. Brady with the boost. Jabo goes for the block. Can't get the full block. Checker flag waves. It's Brady who wins it over Jabo.
Kenny Brady from nowhere wasn't a part of that battle at all for the lead, for the win until about 3 laps to go, and steals it from the streamers. Jabo there in second. Jordan Worth rounding out your podium.
Set it up perfect on the tires, but let's take a look at that run once again.
Hey, the rest of the podium very quick to congratulate Brady there. I mean, that's about as clean as it gets. Jabo went low to block, not quite able to get there, and then the classic drag race. They touch. At that point, nothing Jabo can do, and cross the line, Kenny Brady by about half a nose.
So get the chance to burn it out. Come back with post-race results in just a few moments. But on that note, you're watching iRacing social media platforms and Maconi Entertainment for coverage of the Maconi Fix Series.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of the Maconi Fix Series here from Fontana. Let's take a look at your post-race results once again here tonight from California. Brady takes the win over Jabo and Worth. Newman, Romanucci, early. Van Valkenburg, good shuttle to him coming from a lap down, missing the start. Olsen, Cassie, and Gray rounds out your top 10.
Of note there, see Romanucci and Valkenburg 5th and 7th. They start on the very last row. Worked running inside the top 5 and top 10 respectively. Outside the top 10 though, it's going to be Clayton Schlofsky there in 11th, Andrew Sharp there in 12th, Brendan Slough in 13th, David Gusty in 14th. Dakota Long able to recover from a barrel roll down the front stretch, finish 15th on the lead lap. Cole Balkin in 16th, Gavin Fitzgerald there in 17th. Dean Brown, I mentioned that penalty for him actually was a speeding penalty, and then exiting, I believe, a pit or something, or entering a coach pit. So not able to overcome that without a late race. Caution going to be first car, 1 lap down. Different Maconi able to make a couple laps, 4 laps down home in 19th. Dick Willis in 20th. Charles Rumsey in 21st, and then Drake Carty saw his night in before he even began really. He's going to finish 22nd.
So overall, Braden, what are your thoughts on tonight's race after it comes down to a photo finish? We're expecting even more style racing like that for the finish at Atlanta, a super speedway.
Yeah, and anything can happen at Atlanta. It's basically like Daytona, it's like Talladega. The draft is very reliant there. You're really much at the mercy of others, per se. It doesn't matter how fast you're going to go. It depends how fast the others around you want to go and how much they want to work with you. And going into a tight points battle, with only a couple weeks left, I would not want Atlanta to be the penultimate race.
Once again, you'll see that November 27th, 7:15 p.m. coverage starts on Maconi Entertainment and iRacing social media platforms. So on that note, it's time to thank you for the right sponsors as well as Maconi Setup Shop, to our viewers for tuning in. Coming the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince, alongside Braden Laster. DJ Lyon was producing. Thanks to our viewers for watching tonight's racing action, and we hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race. Thanks to the entire staff for their work in bringing this racing to you. This has been a production from Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.